everyone. So welcome to Pondering the Pond again. Today we're somewhere a little bit different, and I wanted to talk about this different place we're at today, and then in the future weeks we'll kind of dive into what lives here. So we are still at a wetland habitat today, but this time we're at the Vernal pool. A lot of friends who have visited Common Ground before, or even just been to West Rock before, may have hiked to the Vernal pool. It's up near the summit at West Rock, and it's a beautiful spot to find all sorts of critters. So today I wanted to talk about what a vernal pool even is. So I'm going to give you a little view of the vernal pool, and we'll talk about what makes a vernal pool a vernal pool. Okay, so we've got our vernal pool right here. You can see it goes pretty far. If you have visited Common Ground a lot, you may have also visited this vernal pool. It's up near the summit of West Rock. So you may have hiked up here, spent some time up here. It's probably a little bigger than a normal swimming pool size might be. And we wanted to talk about today a little bit about what vernal pools are and why they're special. So these vernal pools are definitely different than the wetlands we have down at Common Ground, and the reason that they're so different and so special is that they're something called ephemeral. And ephemeral is a word you might have heard used maybe a few weeks ago to talk about wildflowers in the spring being ephemeral flowers. So ephemeral means that it is short lasting. It's not always here. And the word vernal in vernal pools helps us figure out when this pool is here, because the word vernal implies spring. So these pools are only really around in the wet times of year, specifically the spring. So by the end of a hot summer, this pool won't be here anymore, but then you might have been here before and be thinking, well, why was it there in December when I visited? And the answer to that question is that these pools live on cycles. So they disappear and then they come back, and they disappear and then they come back seasonally. So what we have in our vernal pools are very particular species that use this space as a space to breed and lay their eggs. So there are a few species that actually make a vernal pool what it is. Vernal pools are specifically categorized as breeding grounds for critters like fairy shrimp, which don't look like the shrimp you might eat or see, but are really, really, really tiny little critters, as well as wood frogs in the northeast, like where we are, and some mole salamanders, which are salamanders like spotted salamanders or Jefferson salamanders. So all of these critters, as well as the temporary nature of the pool, make this vernal pool what it is. So we'll see what we can find in the upcoming weeks in this pool. But for now, I just wanted to give you a glance as to what this pool is and why it's so special. So we'll see you all next week when we'll actually dive into the pool, not literally, and see what we find.